we wanted to tell to the world, what we wanted to do, and what we have seen for all, what we wanted to offer, or something, one step that we can do for all the sacrifices that Pontiff has done. Today is a very beautiful news and extremely exciting news that we have for all of you.
And just wanted to tell all of you, this is what every single Hindu, every Hindu that took the lashes from the British, every Hindu that were beheaded by the Mughals, every Hindu that are going through the tortures, persecution right now, and all the disciples, devotees of Swamiji, who went through that excruciating pain inside us, seeing what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going through. This is a huge breakthrough that all of us as Hindus have had.
Now, joining with us in this segment is Manitya Pranapriyananda and Manitya Achalananda Swami, both of whom are also joining with us to share with us the exciting news. What is it that has happened to each and every one of you that are curious? What is happening? Joining with us, we have Manitya Achalananda Swami and Manitya Pranapriyananda.
Nithyanandam. So, as was being shared, today is a very momentous day for the entire Nithyananda Sangha, KAAILASA, because what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and his followers, KAAILASA, has been going through, has today been recognized by international forum, by the UN itself. We have this segment here. We've come to share this news with you because, like all of us, we understand and appreciate, all of us, all of you watching this will also be finally feeling, okay, there is the voices of persecution that have been heard finally, that have been recognized, and what all ordeals, persecution, genocide, ethnocide, KAAILASA has gone through, the assassination attempts, the sexual assaults, the rapes, the immense amount of lawfare, and the multiple attacks directly on his own life, and the character assassination that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been going through, the unimaginable amount of dehumanization that he has been subjected to, in stark contrast to what all he has only contributed to humanity from the day of his happening on this planet Earth. That whole saga, one of the aspects of that, just one of the aspects of the persecution, which KAAILASA Union had submitted as a report to the UN, has been recognized, and Kailash Union's report accepting these various human rights violations, especially women rights violations, the children abuse that the children of the followers of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism have gone through, is now getting voiced out in yet another forum. And the justice that has been long overdue, as it is said, justice delayed is justice denied. That denial of justice is getting some amount of reprieve in the form of international recognition. Needless to say, the immense amount of tyaga, sacrifice by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, immeasurable. Yet, whatever we, the followers, Kailasa, can show to the world, can bring out to the world what he has been subjected to and what he still is being subjected to, and what in return his response to humanity has been. Undeniably, only a life positive approach, only contributing to humanity. All this, in a very brief nutshell, we will go over in the next few minutes.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to share with all our viewers. Today is a momentous day in the history of Kailasa. Today, after 10 plus years of relentless persecution, assassination attempts, lawfare, hate speech in the media, finally, in the international community, in front of the international community, the United Nations has recognized the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and KAAILASA. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gone through more than 70 assassination attempts, hundreds of illegal false cases slapped on him, murder attempts and hate speech in the media, 14,000 hours of hate speech in the media, brutal tortures, inhuman medical tests, and whatnot. And we, as disciples of and followers of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, we have seen how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has borne and has undergone all of this, has undergone every single persecution that has been done to him over the last 10 plus years, relentlessly, yet only preached non-violence. He said it is our responsibility to share what has happened with the world, but absolute non-violence. Follow the path of ahimsa. That was the only message that Supreme Pontiff said again and again and again. Let us all be non-violent. Let us radiate the truth of Advaita and oneness to the world and share with the international community what we have been subject to. And today, in the victory of Dharma, in the victory of the triumph of justice, the United Nations has recognized the illegal persecution, the relentless persecution that the Supreme Pontiff has gone through. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has gone through, and KAAILASA has gone through. On behalf of all the Hindus worldwide, I express my deep gratitude to the United Nations for bringing out, after 5,000 years of Hindu Holocaust, and after 10 plus years of relentless persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, we, for the first time, we have been able to bring out the persecution of Hindus and the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to the global community. We thank United Nations on behalf of KAAILASA for recognizing the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and KAAILASA.
Today is a momentous day for KAAILASA and the Hindu diaspora. The Hindus have gone through relentless persecution for more than 1400 years. And they have gone through the worst double genocide. They don't even know that they have been persecuted. That is the impact that the anti-Hindu elements have created on the Hindus and the Hindu diaspora. For more than a decade, the last lamp of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji, has been persecuted relentlessly by the anti-Hindu elements in an unimaginable way. For the first time, the world has woken up. The world has recognized the persecution of Hindus, the persecution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gone through. It is bringing out the torturous events and moments that the Hindu diaspora has gone through, and they have not even been come in terms with it. So it is a momentous day for Kailasa. We thank the United Nations for bringing out this torture, this genocide, cultural genocide to the world.
Just a few months ago, in the satsang, in the Nithyananda satsang delivered by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared with all the Hindus worldwide. He said, Ahimsa paramo dhamaha, ahimsa paramo tapaha, ahimsa paramam dhanam, ahimsa paramo jnanaha, ahimsa paramam phalam, ahimsa paramo mantraha, ahimsa paramam sukham. The non-violence is the ultimate truth. The non-violence is the ultimate penance. And that is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has taught and preached to each and every one of us. Over the last 10 plus years of murder attempts and hate speech in the media and illegal cancellation of the citizenship, to an extent where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is exiled from his own country. Every single thing that happened, the atrocities, the tortures, the illegal arrests, the hate speech in the media, the character assassination, the rapes and murders of his disciples and followers, every single thing, the Supreme Pontiff personally went through, and whatever was done, even to the disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism took all the suffering onto himself, and preaching ahimsa, absolute non-violence, and teaching us the responsibility to bring out the truth to the world. He said, whatever we are going through, there is no point reacting aggressively, angrily, violently, furiously. It is time we take responsibility to show to the world, to showcase to the world what has happened to us. And over the last 10 plus years, the persecution, every single detail of the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been very clearly documented. We have presented it to various international bodies, human rights missions, human rights organizations, to an extent that today we are here to announce to all of you that the United Nations, the OHCHR, the Office of the High Commission of the Human Rights of the United Nations, they have recognized the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and KAAILASA. And the United Nations has recognized the only Hindu nation in the world, the only Hindu civilizational and territorial nation in the world, KAAILASA, as a nation. So not just recognizing the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, recognizing KAAILASA as a nation by the United Nations has happened today. And we are here to share this. This is a first step in bringing out what has happened, the 5,000 years of untold history of Hindu persecution and the Hindu Holocaust. Today is the first step. Today marks the beginning of an era of bringing out all the attacks, all the genocide, the rapes, the murders that Hindus have gone through and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gone through. We thank the United Nations, and I want to share this with all the Kailasians, all the Hindus worldwide. Today is the day we feel that justice has been delivered, that finally we have been heard. The story which we were never allowed to tell, the story which was even wrongly told to us, which we ourselves were made to forget, the persecution that happened to Hindus. Today, that very same persecution is being brought to the attention of international community. For the very first time, the Hindu Holocaust is coming out to the world, to the public, thanks to the effort, the relentless, non-violent effort of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And we want to share this news with all of you. And we invite each and every one of you who's watching this live telecast to share this breaking news with every single human being that you know out there. Every single Hindu, every single living, born, practicing Hindu, those who are curious about Hinduism, and every single human being out there. because what Supreme Pontiff is doing is reviving the science of enlightenment for humanity, is here to bring a super conscious breakthrough to humanity. So today is not just a day of triumph for Hindus, but the day of the triumph of humanity as such. So we invite each and every one of you who are watching this live telecast to please share the post which is on the SPH JGM page on Facebook, the breaking news. Please like the post, comment under the post, and share the post virally to all your friends and family.
One can see here, this is the report. This is actually on the OHCHR page, the Office of the High Commissioner of Human Rights, specifically the Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women had actually called for reports. And as one can see here, this committee is especially in charge of protecting the rights of indigenous women and girls. We all know the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, his monks and nuns, the sannyasis, the women followers of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism have been especially targeted by this massive persecution, ethnocide that has been going on against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his followers for almost the last 2 decades. Literally, in a nutshell, what all has been done to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his women followers, his female followers, including children, the girl kids, was just concise to give a very brief overview, because there is tons to speak. As we all know, every narrative of every woman, every girl child who has gone through this persecution is just heartrending. We all know, as you've seen over the last few years, people coming out and sharing their emotional trauma and their physical trauma. And here in this report submission, which was done to the Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, one can see here that the report has been recognized and accepted on behalf of the Kailash Union, as one can see here, and the report which is submitted and what this contained, we will just go over briefly in another few seconds.
And I would now like to share the main post, which is on the SPH JGM page, which we invite each and every one of you to like, share, and comment this specific post.
One can see here the report by the Adishaivite minority tradition community on the rights of the indigenous women. Really, it goes over how this whole thing is being inflicted on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for very deep vested interests, and how it is meant to, how the whole attack is actually on a much deeper level than just a superficial character assassination or direct assassination attempts. It is to destroy the fundamentals of Hinduism, to destroy Hinduism from its very root, which believes in very fundamental, important principles, which are the foundation of life itself, which is the divine feminine being one of the very important aspects, as Bhagavan himself said, he being a Shakta himself, and how he did the Devi Puja, how he himself has declared to the world he is of transcendental gender, he's beyond the masculine and the feminine. He is the only being in the planet Earth today who has revealed and who has espoused the 11 genders, the existence of the 11 genders. If just one recognizes, societies and countries recognize this one understanding, the truth of life of 11 genders being there, there's many of these problems which exist today, be it racism or workplace problems, to two very fundamental issues in the society where women are not truly empowered, but they are not given their due space, will no longer be just like a revolution. It will be like a natural evolution, because what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has always been saying is coexistence in life. It is not about supersedence. It is not about competition. It is not about having to prove anything. So here in this report, the Kailash Union actually tried to present in a very brief about what the ideologies of Hinduism are, of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is a leader of 2 billion Hindus, is, and how that has been violated. And the result of that violation is actually literally like a hologram of what has been happening across these centuries, across the millennia, to Hindus, to 80 million Hindus at large, who have been going through this decade after decade, century after century, and millennium after millennium. And what is happening today to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is almost like an intensified version of this whole persecution and the Hindu Holocaust. And what he has been doing in return. So this brief, we'll just be going over the same. One can see the human rights situation for women and children throughout the world, especially in India, being abysmal. The violence against women and children, including rape, sexual violence, gender-based harassment, female infanticide. We know these are existent problems all across India. And having these problems is not just something which can be eliminated as social evils. It needs to have a much deeper understanding in life. The sexual violence and the brutal rape have actually been weaponized against the minority women and children by extremist militant elements at the highest levels, including of governance. This weaponization of the sexual violence targeting women and children is part of a much more pervasive and systematic campaign targeting certain indigenous spiritual traditions, minority communities, and their leaders, especially those from linguistic and religious minority groups and of the dark-skinned people of these indigenous spiritual traditions. So the whole attack on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not against an individual, but it is against the whole native tradition. Hinduism, comprising of literally thousands of traditions, many of which have become minorities, not by nature, but by force, by the invasion of the various forces that have been invading India and have been invading Hinduism, including the Mughal forces, the colonial forces. So one such indigenous spiritual tradition currently targeted for extermination by the new Hindutva extremist militants is the Hindu Adishaiva minority tradition in India. The women, children, and young girls of this ASMT community were the most vulnerable target of the new Hindutva extremism. The attacks on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuing further to touch the women segment, the female followers, the children of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's whole order. So Kailasa is one important segment, as we know, being the Gurukul, which nourishes the children, and the female children in that being one of the very worst impacted, as one knows, like just 2 years back when the whole persecution in Gujarat happened. The entire Gurukul just razed to the ground, the whole female monastic complex just exterminated, the people driven out, the monastery itself physically razed to the ground, false cases, lawfare being inflicted on the people who were running the temple monastery complex, the administrators, the head of the Nithyananda University, every single person and every single institution targeted, so that very well recognizing that if one eliminates this important aspect of Hinduism, which is empowerment of the divine feminine, empowerment of women, then practically Hinduism can be eliminated once and for all. One can see here the ASMT explicitly rejected.
As you were talking about how this women elimination is a strategy that they use, I just wanted to add a point to that. As you highlighted beautifully, one thing all of us need to notice in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, women children and sannyasis have always been the most respected, most revered, and so much of sacredness is given. But in the post-colonial era, women, children, and monks were always treated as a weaker sect of the society, where they would either the women were ill-treated or treated as a weak, and there was always so much of dominance over women. Actually, this whole culture of the abuse or partiality or the gender gap, the gender bias that we are having today, it's all the post-colonial era, the problems that have come in the post-colonial era. But in Hinduism, how we all live, the Hindu lifestyle that the Supreme Pontiff is reviving, is where women and children and sannyasis are given the reverence and respect, where they hold the position. In fact, one point I would like to highlight here is 2/3 of the leadership positions of Kailasa is where women are doing, and successfully they have been able to carry out the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's vision, and they're able to lead that to the humanity and take that to the humanity as the Supreme Pontiff envisions. So if we see statistically also speaking, women take 2/3 of the role of leadership in Kailasas, and we're able to successfully do. And of course, without any kind of gender bias, there is no kind, it is not like the male are, suppressed, or there is no, both the sides, we're given equal opportunities, and gender never comes in as an obstacle. Same way, even the lifestyle choices, even if you see how women are empowered to conduct temple rituals, how women are empowered to be able to run monastery campuses, how women are empowered to be able to conduct courses, take classes, and run huge organizations. Each and every one of this, we are given the freedom. We are empowered to be able to experience this.
And actually, as Hindu women, we being empowered, it's actually breaking the myths of feminism, everything, and actually re-establishing the real feminism. Today, so many, actually due to the pandemic, the rates of women violence has spiked up. The gender bias in where like the work, whether in the work area, where the number of unemployment rate is much more in women compared to men. So much that the women are going through. Now it is like a new opening for us where our voices are being heard. And what we are talking about is just trivial to what has actually happened, to what our Hindu women have gone through and are going through even today. Even to this day, if we want to be a sannyasi, if we want to be as a Hindu monk, we are being persecuted. We are being attacked. We are sexually abused. And today, what has opened up is a new opportunity, a new platform, a huge platform that has opened up, which is actually allowing us to voice out. Till this day, it will, as Hindu women, what we are going through, we did not have a platform to voice out.
Actually,
our voices.
What you were sharing, one thing that I would like to also add is that how women, now we also have Manitya Pranapriyananda. I would just like to highlight one point in this. If you see, even very recently, the amount of attacks and persecution that was done to the community, to Kailasa, where on one side, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is proactively, continuously, tirelessly working on the whole protection of women and the revival of real women empowerment, the Hindu feminism. When all this was happening on one side, including the revival of Yogini, Sampradaya, Bhairavis, and so many traditions which was revived, where women were given sacredness, they were revered, and women had the freedom to live the life in the most authentic, most safest, the most dignified manner. And when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously was doing this, this actually sparked so many anti-social elements to come and to have the Supreme Pontiff and Kailasa as the prime target, where continuously we were exposed to spiral abuse, attacks, and relentless persecution. Beginning from 2010, where Ma Nithyananda Swami was also involved in a huge persecution and so much of spiral attack and abuse was done. Similarly, even in 2019, the whole Yogini Sampradaya, the whole Yogini Sarvati Peecham was so much of attack had happened. We even have Manitya Pranapriyananda who had to face, who was put, and there was so much of
actually all of you can see here right now in front of you how the women sannyasis are getting attacked. You can see here the car was pushed by the extremist terrorists. You all can see how they are just waiting to barge onto the female sannyasis who are trying to protect their lives and move away, who are in their campus. You can see here the devastated state of our Hindu sannyasis who were sexually abused. This is what is the state of Hindu women today. You all are seeing live right now in front of you. You all can see the video clips, the visuals of our Hindu women, our Hindu sannyasis who were being persecuted just because they were in their own temple, minding their own business by just doing puja. Because they chose to be a Hindu. Because each of them chose to be Hindu sannyasi. You all can see how the properties are damaged.
You can see how many women monks, women sannyasis, women monks are here. You can see the condition and status of the women as they are desperately recording a live video where they are coming live on Facebook pleading for help because they were literally mob lynched because the Supreme Pontiff
right now on the screen was sexually abused. She was raped. You all can see her devastated state. Even at that time, the whole house is shattered, broken. You all can see this is what the extremist terrorists are doing to us even to this day. Today, the UN, the United Nations, recognizing the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and KAAILASA is a huge platform that is opened up where our voices can now be heard. You all can see how it is being, you all can see actually how this whole attack is being explained, the whole thing is happening, and how the women are still, because of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the empowerment that he has given to each of us, we are able to even stand, going through that rain, going through the torture, going through everything, yet standing powerfully and voicing out.
Actually, today, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is standing as a voice, as a hologram of the 2000 plus years of relentless spiral attack that has happened on Hinduism, the roots of Hinduism, the Hindu women, the mothers of Hinduism. So much of abuse and attack that has happened. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism stands as the voice here, taking the whole feminine empowerment, the woman empowerment to the next level, give a breakthrough where women, it is no more merely reduced to cerebral opportunities, but where women are allowed to experience a real freedom, the real powerfulness and the real strength. And we are allowed to be able to experience so many other aspects.
You can see right now how a woman sannyasi was raped and abused and put to the ground just because she chose to be a Hindu. This is what is our current state today. Just because Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is reviving KAAILASA, just because of that, you all can see what the women who are standing up for building this KAAILASA, who are standing up for this revival, this is what we are going through. This is exactly our situation. You can see how her forehead is bleeding, how she's raped, how she's put here, abused, physically abused by the extremist terrorists. This we have been trying to voice out for years now. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been attacked, persecuted relentlessly for years now. And today, this opportunity that has opened up, you all can see how barbaric these attacks are. They are pushing the car. So many extremist terrorists are pushing the car, trying to kill our sannyasis, trying to assassinate our Hindu monks. This shows the current state of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And today, the United Nations recognizing this persecution that Supreme Pontiff has gone through is a clear message. Now, our voices are heard. Hindus, wake up now. At least now, wake up. this is a huge opportunity that has opened up for us our persecution, the attacks that we have gone through, that we are experiencing even to this day, where our temples are looted away, snatched away from us, where the supreme pontiff of Hinduism is getting attacked. Each of you sitting right now, watching this on your iPad or on your TV, right now, wake up. You have the power in your fingertips. Go to Twitter right now. Use the hashtag. The hashtag is projected on the screen for you. Use this hashtag and go and share how you feel. How does it pain inside you and how you feel about United Nations recognizing us? Tag all the UN bodies and share this message. This has to reach.
The hashtag is been protected for all of you. The hashtag is UN recognizes persecution of SPH Nithyananda and KAILASA. We request each and every one of you, if you are seeing this now, if you are hearing this now in front of you, it is high time that we wake up and we voice. Now the United Nations itself has recognized and it has acknowledged and recognized the persecution that has happened on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and KAILASA. So now, to each and every one of you that are watching this, whether you're watching us on Facebook, whether you're watching us on YouTube, please do take a few minutes. Please do go to your respective social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and please do post what you feel about this and what do you want to voice. Please post that with the hashtag that is projected for you. And I would like to repeat the hashtag again. Hashtag UN recognizes persecution of SPH Nithyananda and KAILASA.
And you all can see the post, the Facebook post is presented. The post is already up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go ahead, share your opinions. Please understand, all these days, it is not because the anti-Hindu elements are active, but mainly because Hindus, whoever you are calling as good people, if you call yourself as a Hindu, understand it is because you are being silent. All these are happening. Wake up now. The power is in your fingertips. Go ahead, go and share it virally. Understand, today the whole world is digital. Only if you go and share what is actually happening in the digital world, how many of the mass atrocity material that is being generated can be cancelled out. Otherwise, any innocent person who is going to go and Google, the mass atrocity material is what is going to be shown to their eyes. Let us not destroy our Hindus. No, so many naive, innocent, ignorant Hindus are getting converted. It is all because we Hindus are keeping quiet. Let us take the action now. Go ahead, use this hashtag. Each of you have that power in your fingertips right now. Go ahead, use the hashtag. The hashtag is projected on your screen. Go ahead and voice out. Your voice is needed for us. Our voices need to be heard. It has to be registered. It has to be heard. Understand now, the international platform is listening to us. The decision makers, thinkers of the society are listening to us. So you have the power to voice out. Your voice is powerful. You need to voice out. Take this opportunity in your hand and let us be a part of the revival of Hinduism. Enough. Humanity is already going through so much, persecuting, abusing the avatar. At least now, let us wake up. This is not just a wake-up call for Hindus. This is a wake-up call for humanity. Let us wake up now and let us do it now. Please take a few minutes, go ahead and voice out how you feel about this entire thing that is happening and how you feel about the United Nations recognizing us. How do you feel? Go ahead and voice out on Twitter. Use the hashtag UN recognizes persecution of SPH Nithyananda and KAILASA. Go ahead and tweet.
Here, what we are seeing on the screen is the Facebook post on KAILASA's SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam page. As all of us are going ahead and tweeting, I would also share the main official post on KAILASA's SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam page. And here you are seeing the hashtag breaking news UN has published the report on the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa and his followers. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, has been facing persecution for over 2 decades, especially for his highly progressive stance on true women empowerment. The massive lawfare, assassination attempts, sexual assaults and rapes, character assassination, shaming and sexual objectification, children abuse, amongst many other attacks on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his followers, typically, especially the female followers, has been taken a serious note of, and the report published on the UN website by the Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women. The United Nations recognizes the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa. Here, there is a link to the actual report on the rights on indigenous women and girls. And here, if you actually click on that link, it will show you a page where you can see in the page a list of articles, and in that there is Kailash Union being that link is there on Kailash Union. So if you click on that Kailash Union link, then it will open up this report, which was submitted by Kailasa. So here you see the persecution of indigenous women, and here is the report submitted by Kailasa on the persecution of SPH and Kailasa. Here is the UN article that you will see, and we have all the Kailasians, Hindus from all over the world, commenting, making comments under this post. So I'm going to read some of the comments under the main SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam post. And if you are watching us live, please do 3 things. Like the post, comment under the post, share the post. Like the post, comment under the post, share the post. And when you are clicking on share, you can share the post on your newsfeed, share it in the messenger with at least 21 of your friends, share it in all the groups that you are a part of, share it in all the pages that you own, share it on all your friends' timeline. So do take a moment to like, comment, and share the post. And here we have some of the comments. Dr. Shanti Srivatsa saying, Satyameva Jayate, deep gratitude for our dear Swamiji for continuously enriching humanity despite, in spite of the relentless persecution on Swamiji and Sangha. Thanks to UN for supporting the Satya and the Dharma. Thank you, Dr. Shanti, for your comment here and your support for Kailasa. We have Manitya Muktikananda saying, finally, hoping this reaches as many worldwide and justice is done. UN recognizing the persecution shows the world is taking note of the suffering, abuse, and the violence shown upon Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, and his mission. And we have Sumati Inal.
Actually, Ma Jnanatma Swami, I would say each of us, each woman who are here in the Sangha right now, each of you, actually men, women, everyone, each of us have to make a video, go live right now, or just go do 1-minute video, use the same hashtag, tag Swamiji and post, just post expressing what is the persecution that has happened. Tag the United Nations. You don't know. Your voice has that power. You are powerful enough and you will be able to do it. Let us all take a few minutes. Just go for 1-minute video. Go ahead and do it. You don't know the power of your own. Sorry for the technical glitch. We were just sharing with all of you, all the women, everyone that are watching us live right now. Understand, you have the power in your hands. The hashtag, I request the NTV operator to kindly project the hashtag continuously. Please use this hashtag. Go, just record 1 minute video of yours. Share how you saw the persecution. How you feel now that the United Nations has recognized this persecution. Go ahead and share. Understand, your words have the power. Each of you have the power with just your fingertips right now. Just your one click, a few words that you type, a few visuals that you put, how you record yourself and put. These are going to stand as a testimony for what has happened. And people, so many people, millions of people, right now, as I'm talking to you, thousands of Hindus are getting converted. You can stop all of it. People who feel, oh my God, I don't know what my tradition is, that I don't know anything about it. All I'm seeing is a persecution. You can be a savior of them. So many Hindus, whether it is in Sri Lanka or in every country, whether it is the Hindus in Pakistan getting attacked or Hindus even in India getting attacked. Understand, you're right now, you have the power to save them. We request the NTV operator to continuously show all the visuals that we have to show what persecution is going on.
Actually, everybody can see how each and every one of you that are watching this now, as a woman, as a Hindu, as a human being above all, how do you feel when you see the amount of attack that is happening? You all can see here how our monks are being dragged out of our place. How you all can see here clearly how the monks are being pushed out, made homeless. All the Kailashians, all of the followers of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are being pushed out to the road with people mercilessly recording it. They are being mob lynched.
Just because they're Hindu. Understand here, you can see how they're being mob lynched. Women, this is how the women are being pulled. This is how they are beaten. It is our Hindu women, just because they are Hindu. Just because they're a Hindu sannyasi.
You all can see here how our women were dragged out, how our women are standing and they're being, all our monks, everybody are being dragged, mob lynched, and they're all being pushed onto the road. This is just one of the years of persecution that has happened on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa. And you all can see here, you all can see how the female monks are, you can see the female monk has fainted and she has to be taken to the hospital.
She was sexually abused. She was, the whole mob lynching happened just because she's a Hindu sannyasi. All of you can see how mercilessly when our Hindu sannyasis are being pushed, mob lynched, media is there to cover for its TRP rate. Not a single human being is there to protect them, to stop them getting abused. Understand? These are all very strategic. These are, each of these that you're seeing are very strategically done, extremely just to destroy. Understand, what you're witnessing right now is less than 0.1% of what the Supreme Court of Hinduism has gone through and is going through today.
Assaults, sexual assaults, abuses, rapes, murder attempts, make mob lynching, character assassination, and much more. And all of these relentlessly happening on all Kailashians and on the Supreme Pontiff, because the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has had one of the most progressive, most advanced way of empowering women. Tirelessly, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has come up with some of the most breakthrough, some of the most progressive way of reviving the Hindu feminism, and that has led to the empowerment of so many women, and that has given shelter, life, and protection to so many women. And this makes Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailashians as a prime target for the attacks from the anti-social elements. You all can see how many sexual assaults, rapes, abuses, mob lynching, how much of violence, everything that the Kailashans had to face.
Actually, I'm saying amazing. So happy to see all of your responses actively. Lot of comments are coming on YouTube. So many people are tweeting on Twitter. This is amazing. So many Hindus are waking up. Ivana Grebnar, you have put, I have the power in my hands. Yes, this is a big step. Save Hinduism, live Kailasa. Exactly, Ma. You have taken the right decision. Come on, make a small video. Just let it be 1 minute clip. Enough. But express how you see that pain that you're going through, seeing how our sister monks are being persecuted. Our own Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, our Swamiji, is being attacked. Even to this day, despite him doing the most compassionate acts ever any human can even fathom of doing. So understand, yes, as you said, the power is in your hands right now. Each of you that are deciding, I want to save Kailasa, this is my step. At least now let me wake up. I might have missed it in the past. Now, no more I am going to miss. This is a step I am going to take as a Hindu. If you feel this in you, right now, go ahead and tweet the hashtag that you need to tweet with. That hashtag is projected. I'm going to read out the hashtag. Hashtag UN recognizes persecution of SPH Nithyananda and Kailasa. Please use this hashtag. Go ahead and tweet.
Make videos, make tweets, make posts, anything. Do it so that you voice out and use. And we also have more comments. We have Muni Bhattadar who saying, it is a great news that UN has recognized Kailasa, only a Hindu nation. My immense gratitude to the dearest Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji Nithyananda Paramashivam. Yes, Ayya, you're absolutely correct, Muni Bhattadar Ayya. And this is an opportunity you can voice out too. What is happening for Hinduism? As Hindus, what do you feel? As a Hindu, what do you want to voice? Please go ahead and you can make a tweet and a video also. Please tweet with the hashtag Ayya so you can express what you have beautifully expressed as a comment. You can express it and you can voice it out to the world.
Yes,
we
it
also
is time for justice. So, Master Nithyananda is saying, I'm so grateful that the United Nations has finally recognized the persecution of Swamiji and his organization have experienced. It is time for justice. Exactly, Ma. It is time. It is actually high time. At least now we have to wake up, get the justice. Understand, if you all notice, entire COVID time, throughout this pandemic, so many celebrities, so many people have maybe 10 different homes, 20 homes. Nobody have opened up their own homes for saving humanity. It is only the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism who, out of his extreme compassion, has made the multi-layered quarantine available, absolutely free of cost, with the best medical system, everything best for the entire humanity. Understand, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only hope for humanity. So each of you, right now, the action, the step you take, it is not just for saving yourself or saving Hinduism. It is for saving humanity, because the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only hope for humanity. Otherwise, this level of persecution, this level of attack that happens, anyone else, will they do back anything to that country where the attack has happened? Will they do back to the same place which persecuted them? No. But it is only the avatar, because for him, there's no anger, no violence, nothing, but just to save humanity. He has gone through, taken the pin. You can see how the monks are being pulled by the police, where the police are known to save humans. Is this what is happening? It is happening in front of you.
And you all can see so many media channels. You can see how our women are being abused. Old age women are just being dragged onto the road. You all can see how the hut, the shelter that they are having, just a thatched hut, is just being removed, displanted with women and babies and everybody inside. Children are inside. You all can see the merciless, inhumane attack on Hinduism, on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You all can see how the deities are just...
Swamiji actually builds golden temples to keep the deities. Here the deities, our Hindu gods are being dragged down and put in the mud. Do you all see? This is the level of persecution that is happening. Hindus, it is high time we wake up. Inhumanly, police is pulling and
You all
oh
can
my
see
God,
the physical assault
abusing,
that is happening.
physically assaulting our Hindu mom just because each of them chose to be a Hindu. This is the assault that each of them are experiencing today, even to this day. Really, if you feel, oh my God, whether it is anything else, it is humanity that is needed here. These people are being barbaric and so inhumane. Please tag United Nations, tag the human rights organizations, tag all the big media channels that you know. This hashtag and go ahead, make your videos, make your tweets. You can see small child, you all can see the back, a small girl child is sitting there in middle of the road, even then doesn't want to leave her kavi, doesn't want to leave the deity, just want to stand up by Hinduism, despite of being physically assaulted. You all can see how the police is physically assaulting the Hindu sannyasi, trying to grab her away. Why? Is she not walking? Oh my God, this is a torture. This is what you are seeing is less than 1% of what the supreme point Hinduism has gone through. Understand, each of you have the power right now. It's not enough that you just feel inside, oh my God, I feel so sorry for them. No. Wake up. Let us take the action at least now. You have the power with you. You have the power. Go ahead and go share this. Share this right now. Go ahead and go and make tweets, make videos and share it. It is in your hands. Use the hashtag. We are actually going to be tracking this in the hashtag. We're going to be seeing your live responses in the hashtag.
Actually, each and every one of you, please make sure you use the hashtag. You can express your thoughts and opinions in terms of posts, through a post or through a picture or through a meme, or you want to make a poster card or you want to make a video. But understand, in whatever way you can, express it, voice out. It is high time that we wake up.
Actually, I'm seeing so many. I'm seeing Kailasa Toronto, Kailasa Zivana, Kailasa Trinidad Tobago, United Nations for Yogi Sciences, Maragananda, lot of you that are going and tweeting. Great, but please do make videos also and share. Understand, at least now, let us say what we are going through to the world. This is in your
as you can
hands.
see here, continuously our sannyasis are being attacked, our deities are being thrown away on the road, and the sannyasis, the only thing that they did is because they are Hindus, because they are disciples of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, reviving the true authentic Hinduism and reviving the enlightenment ecosystems of Hinduism worldwide. That is the only reason they are being attacked. And here you can see how the entire ecosystem established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is being brought down. The entire ecosystem is being destroyed. The enlightenment ecosystem established in the very same place or where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was born and brought up, that very same place, it is being destroyed. You can see here. Here you can see how the female monks, the sannyasis, the disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are being attacked. The entire ecosystem, just a small hut where so much of service is being going on, the pujas goes on, healing goes on, annadam goes on, is continuously being attacked, and the whole place is being destroyed and demolished. What crime they did? Oh, they are Hindus. What wrong they did? Oh, they are doing Hindu rituals. What is the crime they did? Oh, they were serving the public. Oh, what wrongdoings they did? Oh, they gave healing to people. They are Hindu sannyasis. Is enough for you to be attacked. And today, this information is brought out in front of the international community thanks to the United Nations. Thank you for bringing it in front of the international community. And it is our responsibility as Hindus to bring it out to the attention of the influencers, to bring it out to the attention of the governments. And we have a lot of our viewers who are wanting to call in live to share their joy in just knowing that the persecution is being recognized finally. We are having a live call in here, and we are going to be taking the live call in. Nithyanandam? Nithyanandam, who is this? Can you please go ahead and introduce yourself?
Nithyanandam, my name is Sri Nithyananda, and I am calling from Seattle.
Nithyanandam, thank you so much for live calling in during this show. And what is it that you would like to share?
It is such an amazing news. When I saw it today, just tears are overflowing in gratitude, because I've been following Swamiji since 2005. So I've seen the persecution that Swamiji has been going through from the beginning, every single step of how much Swamiji has been working and how much the media and people have been persecuting, falsely representing all the efforts that Swamiji has been delivering to this entire world. And every time, one thing that I hope is that when will this end? Isn't there one entity in this entire world that can actually recognize the efforts of Swamiji, they recognize the efforts of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And finally today, seeing a news that, the United Nations, the highest body that can actually recognize all persecutions, has recognized the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This is truly, I think, an Independence Day for the KAAILASA Sangha, because after all the persecution relentlessly being attacked, there is one person, one entity in this world which is ready to stand up for the truth and stand by the side of truth and support Swamiji. I just can't express the gratitude for, to Swamiji for patiently handling through all of this, and that too in a very non-violent way. Just unimaginable. I can't even fathom how he does it, but he always delivers. That's all. I'm so happy that this is happening today, and I'm very, very glad I'm part of this the organization. I'm following Swamiji, and I'm grateful to Swamiji to have made me stand by the side of truth through this entire time and not get diverted. That's all I wanted to share. My gratitude to Swamiji, and thanks to the United Nations for bringing the truth the way it is for the very first time since the persecution started.
Absolutely, Srinidhi Shraddhananda. Thank you so much for live calling in today. And as you're seeing on the live screen here, for the first time, a person in prison, the video has been purposely leaked to break and to hurt the sentiment of Hindus worldwide. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who was illegally imprisoned, just to break the morale of Hindus, just to hurt the Hindu sentiments. First of all, it was an illegal arrest. Second of all, it was illegal to show anybody under imprisonment. And for the first time, you would have never seen such a footage other than probably in the movies, but the live footage of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being interrogated, being pushed into the prison time and again, the illegal imprisonment was shown to public just to break the morale. And as the disciples of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, just watching it, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been illegally imprisoned and how he has been tortured while he was in prison. And today, 10 years after this incident, today we are having the international community, the United Nations, the highest international body, recognize the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Kailasa. So thank you so much, Sri Nithyananda, for coming and sharing. Like you said, you voiced what every Kailasian feels today. Finally, we feel relieved and fulfilled and happy that the justice has come out, and we now have a platform to share all the atrocities that has been done on Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa. Thank you so much for joining us for this live calling in, and thank you for calling Nithyananda TV and the live channel.
Thank you, Nithyananda.
Thank you, Nithyananda. As you can see, dear viewers, here we are seeing how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa have been relentlessly persecuted, a story that we were never allowed to be told. And today, for the very first time, the Hindu Holocaust, the genocide, the rapes and murders of millions of Hindus, 500 million Hindus have been raped and killed and murdered in the most brutal genocide that has happened in the human history, that has been done to the Vedagamic civilization. And today we have an opportunity to share it with the world. And for the first time, the Hindu Holocaust has been brought out in the front of the international community, thanks to the United Nations for bringing it out. And if you're watching this, please do go ahead and comment with the hashtag UN recognizes the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa. Go ahead and do a post on social media, share the post on the SPH AGM page, and make a tweet, make a video, whatever we can do, each and every one of us can do to bring out this news out to the world. Let us go ahead and do that.
And we saw how it is multiple arrest after arrest, illegal arrests of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and the way he is treated, even the worst criminal, the worst terrorist also will not be subjected to such horrible human rights violations, as he is put in a cell in which, as one saw in the video itself, there is not even a floor, a clean floor, a clean something, even a piece of cloth on which that he can lie down. And it's never been heard of that any so-called interrogation by the police is telecasted on television. One can see over here, it is not just a coincidence or unintentional, it is intentionally dehumanizing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Yes, the leader of 2 billion Hindus being subjected to being put in a cell, and his so-called interrogation being telecasted live on national television as if it's a breaking news. In this, it's a breaking news. It didn't end over here. This interrogation, after it was spread virally over the television, one can see here it is supposedly a CCTV footage. But what was being flashed in the television is confession is being telecasted live, apparently. What kind of a confession? When there is zero audio recording of what is happening over here, it's only a CCTV footage that is released. And in fact, one can see the confidence with which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is replying. It's not an interrogation. It's a straight question and answer, like we all see how Bhagavan replies in the satsang. He's clearly explaining what the whole false case is about and how it's just a stupid, ridiculous framing of him. One can see here, he's explaining, is this looking like a confession? But what will be shown in the media headlines is the CID probes, and he confesses and he admits to all the rumors and the lies that were spread about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. To substantiate that, this video is being leaked and it's being shown as if it's an exclusive telecast by this particular television channel, and lie after lie about what they wanted to propagate about him, to spread about him. Like you see over here, refuses to identify himself with the sex tape. The whole video is morphed. What is there to identify? So these kind of repeated lies being done to brainwash the people and make them literally look at the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as a criminal when actually he is a victim, the victim of a huge conspiracy. So the victimization is what they were really trying to do with this. Legally, when Kailash tried to question the very illegal act of the leaking of this interrogation tapes in something as safe as the CID's headquarters, they can't really place safer than that. You can't say that something got leaked. And when this was questioned, when the petition was placed before the court seeking these interrogation tapes, because they had the proof that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how he was subjected to inhuman torture, at that time, the police came back with a reply saying that the tapes were stolen. Yes, you heard it right. The police, who's supposed to be protecting the whole country, the citizens from theft, comes back and says the interrogation tapes were stolen. From where? From under their very nose, from their very headquarters. This was then filed as a case of theft way back in 2010. And needless to say, the case was just dragged not for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or a whole 8 years, till 2018. When in 2018, the court actually came down heavily on the police, saying there's absolutely not even a smell of a theft. Where is the question of convicting this person who has been accused as a thief? So the whole thing, as one can see, in riding the wave of misinformation and disinformation, spreading false information, making the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism look like a criminal by spreading absolute lies, by fabricating videos around him, by showing what he said when Bhagavan said, I'm of transcendental gender, I'm beyond masculine and feminine. The media twists that and says, I'm not a man. And then using that, the police subjects the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to medical tests and potency tests, as one can see here. After a so-called potency test or a medical test, who have you seen coming out in a wheelchair? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who has walked the length and breadth of the country, 10,000, thousands of kilometers traversed on foot, with not even a penny in hand, living, begging on alms, not even having meals to eat fully. That kind of a yogic body coming out on a wheelchair, there is no substantiation to that other than the torture that he was subjected to. On one hand, this really violation of all his rights, even as a human being. On the other hand, what is shown to the public is this kind of morphed videos and morphed interviews. When he is telling something, when he says he's got nothing to do with the video is morphed. What is flashed as a headline says, it's me in the video. And one can see here, he's a sannyasi, an unarmed person. Can you imagine a battalion of 600 police officers accompanying him as if he's the most wanted terrorist? Even the most wanted terrorist in this country is not given this kind of a police accompaniment. And here you have him, an unarmed sannyasi, a lone being who has only contributed to the world. He is, forget being a threat to the society, all he has done is only showered love and compassion to every human being, not only in India, but across the world. And this is what he gets subjected to in return, where a battalion of 600 police officers are accompanying him to the police jeep. He is framed in an illegal case, which is absolutely baseless. When he is actually being attacked, when his disciples, when his women followers are being attacked, and that is being streamed on television, when their heads are being broken, when they are being raped live on television, instead of arresting those people, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gets arrested and he gets paraded as if he is a criminal. Here you have the televisions telecasting how the police are manhandling the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which is unheard of in any other society, in any other religion. Can you imagine any other religious head being treated even 1% as abusively as he is being treated? Hindus, high time we awaken. If we do not see what is our two eyes are just being able to see, it is zero doubt that we are on the verge of just sensitivity that we are exhibiting to what's happening in front of our eyes. Forget the Mughal rule, forget the colonial rule. What's happening today? And as we are sharing over here, these gory visuals which just make one squirm in the stomach, we're having a line of people who are waiting to call in and share their thoughts and what their opinions are and what they would like to do. So we can listen to people. High time, really high time. It's across the board, across the entire India, be it atheistic terrorist militants or neo-Hindutva terrorist gang. Everybody, these vested interests are the ones who are showing this facade of swamis and gurus, vilifying them and showing them as if they are criminals, so that the trust of people on the Guru Shishya tradition is exterminated, which is already on the decline because of the colonial rule and the whole vilification and the dehumanization and the false propaganda about Hinduism itself. And now, riding on that wave, we have these anti-Hindu terrorists who are exploiting that, spreading misinformation to the public, fooling Hindus and making them doubt their very roots, their very culture. Once that is done, then Hindus feeling proud about vilifying the Guru Shishya tradition, about doubting and questioning and demeaning gurus, this whole vicious cycle, unless this is broken, there is no hope for Hinduism at all. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is really the last lamp of Hinduism. He himself has been exiled into statelessness. That is the state of Hinduism today. Let's not mince words over here. Let's call a spade a spade. This is where we are, O Hindus. We cannot afford to have just dreams of reviving Hinduism in all its glory and tradition unless we, you and me, decide to come on the ground and fight for the rights of Hinduism, fight for Hinduism to just be even alive. Forget even propagating it. All the pillars, temples, Gurukul, Goshala, look at the news, look at the social media. Everywhere one can see every single pillar, Hindu libraries, every single one is being attacked in our face, and we're being fooled or being scared. Neither is going to work unless we become active about defending our religion. The next generation will not know the hitch of Hinduism. That's where we are.
Here you can see the very residence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being burnt, with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism alive inside his own residence is being burnt.
And you can also see how these anti-Hindu elements are attacking the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and that is being continuously telecasted in the media. The whole idea of this anti-Hindu media is to propagate hate speech against Hindus and ensure that Hindus disown their own religion, ensure that Hindus are identityless. That is what they were trying to do throughout this persecution, making Hindus orphan. And we are in the verge of this double genocide where we don't even recognize that we are being persecuted. Like what Machala Swami told, all the pillars of Hinduism, whether it is temples, Gurukuls or Goshala, every single pillar is being attacked. And that is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been reviving for more than 2 decades to its original authenticity. For that, he has been persecuted to an enormous level, which nobody can even cognize. And for the first time today, the United Nations have recognized the persecution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has faced. This is a wake-up call for all Hindus. This is really a time for all Hindus to wake up and understand where we are at today and stand up and voice your hands together for Kailasa. So what you're seeing here is
absolutely as
the residence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was burnt by this anti-Hindu elements, and the whole thing was completely telecasted in the media.
Nithyanandam? Nithyanandam? Nithyanandam ma, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, this is Malu Kanayaki from California, USA.
Nithyanandam ma, thank you so much for live calling in Nithyananda TV. Please go ahead and share what you would like to share.
Today is a big celebration for us. I truly want to congratulate, to give thanks to the United Nations for all the studies that they did, for looking at everything that has happened to Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and for bringing peace, not peace only to the individual, to families, and to the world. And this is a huge milestone. We thank everyone who made this possible. We think it's really historical to see how the Hindu Holocaust is changing.
Absolutely.
How we all been praying and asking for this to end. It's been 20 years going through all these atrocities with our beloved Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. But of course, Hindus have been going through this for longer than that. But today it's a drop of peace. We are very thankful and very grateful for this, because this is a huge opening for the world. As the United Nations noted, so the world will notice that Sanatana Hindu Dharma has done, has given, has helped the world. And also they will notice that KAAILASA, that all the sanyas, all the families, all the sacrifices, and everything that was given up to be here to help the world today is a huge milestone. We give thanks because it is moving us into the world of peace, because the world is also noticing that our beloved Swamiji has done so much. He has sacrificed so much. He has given so much, and he continues to give. So I want to thank every single one who made this possible. And peace, all I can see is peace. We're moving into the new era of peace. Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful, ma. So beautifully shared. We are moving into the new era of global peace with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism leading the world into the new world order with KAAILASA, and today with the United Nations having recognized the brutal persecution on the Supreme Pontiff and KAAILASA. It is extremely important that we, as the disciples and followers of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and e-citizens of KAAILASA, share this news with the whole world. So thank you so much for calling in and sharing. Malakanai, I really appreciate you taking this time to call in and share what you feel about this, and let us share this information with the whole world. Thank you so much for joining us live.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Dear viewers, as you can see here, the continuous attacks, not just in one place, but every single monastery, the temple complex, and the Adinams and the temples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And here the anti-Hindu elements burning the effigy of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism just to send a message that we are here to assassinate Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And this is being live telecasted on a national television channel, and to kind of provoke that kind of a feeling of a mob hatred and mob lynching, so that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism could be lynched by mob once and for all, and he could be assassinated. So many assassination attempts have happened, and today, finally, we feel a sign of relief as all these attacks and persecution have been brought in the face of the international community by the United Nations, recognizing the persecution on Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa, and recognizing the Kailasa nation itself. It is a day where every Hindu should celebrate, because even though we have gone through 5,000 years of persecution, today is the day when that persecution, we have been allowed to tell the persecution to the world in a way the world understands and cognizes and acknowledges the persecution that happened to Hindus, which is something which we have never been able to do. And today, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has successfully brought out the Hindu Holocaust in the face of the international community. That is why today marks a very important day in the calendar of Hinduism, in the calendar of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the oldest living civilization in the world today.
Actually, United Nations estimates that 1 in 3 women faces violence during their lifetime, and 98% of all the femicides go unprosecuted, and 81% of the cases do not get justice. This is what the world is facing today in terms of women's rights, and especially rights of women. And we also have the history of how the Hindu women are brutally raped and tortured post Mughal invasion. And so the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived feminism, has revived the Hindu feminism in an unprecedented way. The Yogini Sarvangapitam, especially
as you're sharing, we have the next live caller. The next live call-in coming in. So let's just take the live call-in as we before we proceed. Nithyanandam. Nithyanandam, thank you so much for calling Nithyananda TV. Nithyananda Manati Muktikanandama, thank you so much for calling in live today. And today is the day where we are sharing with the world the breaking news that the United Nations has recognized the persecution of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa. So what would you like to share with our viewers?
If I could, I would go to a rooftop and shout and declare to the world that today is a breakthrough day for all of humanity.
Absolutely.
The amount of intense persecution that Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, has gone through, it is only an avatar who could have gone through that intense persecution. And having known, or at least having been in his presence, having had his blessings since 2009, I have seen so much of the persecution, and it broke my heart to see what he had to go through, and the helplessness that all of us as his devotees, we felt at that moment. Yet through everything, what I want to share with the world is Swamiji never stopped what he wanted to do for his devotees, for humanity. The immense amount of work, the blessings, the initiations that he's been giving and sharing has not stopped. Yet he was going through the persecution. His sannyasis, his adinavasis, his sangha, his mission was put through a grinder, literally. And we stood by trying to see who would even give us would lend a ear for us to share what we were going through, what we saw Swamiji going through. And it was, today is a day when we feel that the day has come, the light is shining, where we are being heard, where the justice that we want to see happen for Swamiji, for him as an avatar, to undertake what he is here for all of humanity, through Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Today is when it begins. We are so blessed and we are so privileged to be accepted, to be blessed by him, to be guided by him, to know, to be empowered that anything we put ourselves to, we can make it possible. That strength, what he gives us and all of humanity, I am so happy. I have, it's so priceless to even think of what this can mean and how the world will sit up and take note of every contribution of Swamiji. What he has done, what he is doing, and what he is going to be doing for the world, it is beyond words. I will request everybody to take note and to really look in and understand the truth. I am so empowered that he has shown me how I need to stand for the truth, how I need to share and talk to the world, that my Guru has been going through a persecution. My Guru needs the support, and we need to stand by him. We need to stand by Hinduism. And this is the time to raise ourselves to the next level. It is such a privilege to have his blessings. And I request everybody who is here hearing this, the past devotees, so much people have been going through because they were afraid or they dropped. So much has happened. But today is the day to come and stand by Swamiji. Today is the day to come see that the UN is paving the road for us to get this heard all across the world. And I can only share my gratitude, my surrender, that space of bliss that I'm feeling just by even thinking about Swamiji. To be in the presence of or to have the blessings of an avatar is beyond lifetimes. And I wish that for everybody. And I'm so happy today that the truth is coming out. Let us support and let us make this the biggest breakthrough that has ever happened. And I thank you, Swamiji, for giving me this opportunity to stand by you, to fight for you, to fight for humanity. Thank you, Jnanatma Swami.
Wonderful, Ma. Thank you so much, Manitya Muktikananda. So aptly said, so beautifully summarized. Exactly, this is an opportunity that the Supreme Pontiff has given us to just be a part of this huge revival. And in spite of the relentless attacks on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff, just by his tyaga and showing us how we should all respond in the face of such brutal, inhumane torture and assassination attempts and whatnot, how just being in the space of Advaita and only having the non-violence as the only strategy, how the Supreme Pontiff has patiently waited. And today, that very persecution is now being recognized by the United Nations and brought to the attention of the international community as well. So thank you so much, Manitya Muktikananda, for joining live and sharing your thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma. Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam.
Like this, there are a number of devotees who wants to share their joy and gratitude for this momentous moment of Kailasa, because for the first time we are seeing the UN has recognized the persecution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been facing over the decades. So one of the things that Swamiji has revived is the Yogini Sarvanya Peetham that was in the verge of extinct. After 700 years, it was totally, before 700 years, it was completely extincted. And it is Swamiji who has revived this Yogini Sarvanya Peetham as a tradition. And in the world where we see 1 in 3 women faces violence during their lifetime, and 98% of femicides go unprosecuted, it is Swamiji who has revived the Shaktism, the real Hindu feminism, and protected the Hindus, especially female monks. And in Yogini Sarvanya Peetham, Swamiji has established a full-fledged Gurukul, a university, and a female monastery, where everything was run by female bodies, and they are empowered to show to help the humanity to experience conscious evolutions as per the principles of Vedas and Agamas. So when the beautiful community was evolving, the anti-Hindu elements and the anti-Guru Hindu media mafia, they conducted worst persecution on these female monks and the children, especially. The children who studied in the Gurukul, they were subjected to such sexual assaults, and they experience so much of torture by the anti-Hindu elements. And for the first time, all these things are coming out in the international community. So that's the greatest thing that can happen, because now the Hindus are there to listen. Now the Hindus can wake up to this amount of atrocity that is happening to the Hindus, especially monks and the children.
You can see whether it is the persecution in Gujarat, where the Yoginis are being beat up, was being destroyed. Okay, we have a next live call in. We are calling us live. Let's see who's calling us now. Nithyanandam. Nithyanandam, can you please introduce yourself?
This is Ma Shivanyana from Houston, Kailasa Adinam. Swami, I'm really excited to hear this news. The international recognition is a big breakthrough and relief of justice for all the persecution that happened for our Swamiji and the Sangha. There were so many attacks on many of our Adinams. Once an Adinam is destroyed, the entire ecosystem, the lifestyle, it nurtures and practice discontinues, right? But when the Adinams are attacked, the Hindus lose confidence in their religion and forced to settle for less optimal mediocre lifestyle. Now there is a big hope for having an enlightenment ecosystem for people who wanted to follow the tradition with Swamiji's guidance.
Absolutely.
So we should be sharing the great news to the entire world, Swami.
Absolutely, absolutely, Ma Shivanyana. Thank you so much. Actually, today is a day where we are able to showcase the efforts that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as you said so rightly, Ma Shivanyana, the efforts that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has put towards the building and the revival of the enlightenment ecosystems on one side, and all the efforts that were done against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to stop the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and once and for all lead that great civilization to extinction. So there is one side the effort that the Supreme Pontiff is putting to revive Kailasa and to revive enlightenment ecosystems, Kailasas all over the world, and whether it is in Houston or Los Angeles or in Canada or in Malaysia or in Singapore, and on the other hand, the anti-Hindu elements relentlessly attacking and trying innumerable murder attempts and assassination attempts on Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Today, we have had this recognized that the Supreme Pontiff is a persecuted religious leader, and that's what we are here to share with the world. So beautifully shared, Ma Shivanyana. And is there anything else that you would like to share?
I'm very thankful to the UN Nation Committee for coming up out first and recognizing these persecutions. And this recognition by the UN gives a sign of reassurance to all the Hinduism and the Hindu gurus. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming live and sharing your thoughts and your opinions on Nithyananda TV. Thank you so much, Ma Shivanyana, for joining us live today.
Thank you, Swami Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam.
And one can see over here a site that is probably not even as uncommon as one would expect it to be for any individual, any community, any society, any country. Here, you have the news being flashed. This is as late as 2019. Yes, over a decade of continued persecution involving direct assassination attempts on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism numbering over 100. Those are just the assassination attempts, and then a massive character assassination, a defamation campaign, slander campaign, hate propaganda totaling to about 14,000 hours of this kind of a footage. As one can see, repeated footage, repeated telecast of absolutely misleading content, misinformation being spread. One can see the headlines flashing something which is absolutely not even true. What the person is saying does not match with what is being flashed. That started right from the time of 2010 when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was being interrogated by the police, and he clearly saying it's not me in the video. It is the video is morphed, it's fabricated, and what gets flashed is it's me in the video. When he is telling something, completely twisting that, just riding on the fact that the fourth estate, the media today, is just completely in the control of the parties and in power and not in power, completely politically biased and just used as their mouthpiece, unlike what is supposed to be in a true democracy where the media, just like the judiciary, is not supposed to be having any sides. It is just supposed to be telling the truth as is. But that is practically a dream that possibly cannot even be dreamed anymore. And one can see over here the media literally sticking the camera onto the sannyasis and the followers of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. All this is just cheap tactics to break the individual, to shake the individual, so that whatever the police and the other authorities wanted, the false confessions from the accused, could be extorted. The same thing they tried way back in 2010 by trying to extract false confession from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. And yes, to all of us, his disciples and followers, it sounds like a joke, because the being who has gone beyond the mind, for whom the mind is a tool that he uses just like a pianist plays a piano, just like he has total control over the symphony, the same way he was attempted to be broken, his mental state was attempted to be broken, and needless to say, that could never happen, because there exists nothing called the mind in him as it exists in us human beings. So the relentless torture that he had been subjected to because of this one fact, where false confession could not be extorted. One is, false confession could not be extorted because a crime itself never happened. There was no crime committed. All that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has done is only serve humanity. If there is a crime, then the whole question of humanity, really humanity needs to stand on top of its head and relook at what life is all about. So when time after time, the whole continued persecution, why over a decade? It's because he is standing strong on that one principle, on that one ideology, which he has always been saying from day one. He's come here not to prove that he is God, but to prove that we are God, that each and every individual is not only divine, each and every individual is Paramashiva himself. That Paramashivatva experience, making people understand, telling them, explaining them in words, giving them the experience through the Diksha, through the initiations, this is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been relentlessly on, untiringly, with unending fervor. And that is something which the anti-Hindu terrorist elements cannot digest, because they know once he empowers any Gurukul kid with the power of the third eye, once he empowers any woman with the realization of the divine feminine, once he empowers any individual with the awakening of the Kundalini Shakti, then that being gets consciously awakened and now will push humanity into the superconscious realm, which is what the avatar has landed. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the living incarnation, the Nija Avatara of Paramashiva and Devi Parashakti herself. That is his mission. So much before the Hindus have even recognized or even smelt where this is heading, the anti-Hindu terrorist elements have long before recognized, and therefore this entire attempt at exterminating him physically from this planet, exterminating KAAILASA, his mission, this whole thing done with such a vicious vengeance, because they know he is the last lamp of Hinduism, and that last lamp of Hinduism has the entire promise of reviving Hinduism, not only in one or two dimensions, in its entire facets, dimensions, and glory. And needless to say, that fervor, that patience, and that integrity and intensity of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is what makes his monks, his disciples, stand strong and defend against the attacks being made on them, because they are the next lines of defense also, and also the seeds to carry Kailasa and to spread to humanity, to the whole what Hinduism stands for, and why Hinduism should survive, because that is the only promise for, the only hope for, the only possibility for a crime-free, peaceful, blissful humanity.
Yes, Esma, please go ahead. Can you please go ahead and introduce yourself?
Magaratna Swami, this is Manitya Divyananda from KAAILASA, San Jose.
Nithyananda Ma, thank you so much for live calling in. And today being a very, very, very important breaking news that we are sharing in. Thank you so much for live calling in today. And please go ahead and share what you would like to share.
Ma, this is truly amazing news. I'm so happy, so grateful that it's a big breakthrough today. And His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, our beloved Swamiji, has been facing this relentless persecution for past over 2 decades, and such character assassination, physical assault, sexual assault, and the destroying the Adinam. All this has been going on since past 2 decades, and today it's a big breakthrough that United Nations is recognizing the persecution what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam and KAAILASA and the devotees have gone through. And it's a big victory for us. It's a big victory for Sanatana Hindu Dharma, for Hinduism. And, Ma, in spite of the relentless persecution that Swamiji has gone through, he has tirelessly worked, and he has been tirelessly working to revive this ancient enlightened civilization. And he has created this enlightenment ecosystem all over the world. I am part of this one enlightenment ecosystem in San Jose, and I'm so grateful to Swamiji for gifting us this enlightened lifestyle. So in spite of the relentless persecution, he has not stopped. He has not stopped all his service to humanity. And even in this pandemic time, look at what Swamiji has done. He has opened the doors of KAAILASA, where everybody is closing the doors. Swamiji has opened his doors of KAAILASA to support people, to protect people, So it's really such compassion of Swamiji, and I'm so happy that the world is recognizing it. Finally, the truth prevails, and it's a Satyamev Jayate for us. It's truly very happy about it.
Absolutely.
Gratitude to United Nations.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's an absolute gratitude that we are having for United Nations. Every Hindu feels relieved at the end of the day for the United Nations recognizing the persecution and the Hindu Holocaust. So beautifully shared, Manitya Divyananda. Thank you so much for coming live and sharing.
Thank you so much, Mata. Thank you,
Nithyananda. And as you are watching this, we have so many devotees and disciples, the followers, the Kailasians, who have shared their experience and commented on the SPH JGM page on Facebook, the official Facebook post. So let's see what are some of the comments that have been left by our viewers and Kailasians worldwide. So here I'm now projecting the Facebook live post. And if you have not yet liked, commented, and shared this post, now is the time to do that. Here is the pinned post with the hashtag breaking news on the top, which shares how UN has recognized our persecution. And I'm now going to read some of the comments left by our Kailasians and Hindus worldwide. And if you are watching this and if you have not yet left your comment, please go ahead and leave your comment here under this post. So we have Vishnu Goswami saying, thanks to United Nations for recognizing the ongoing persecution on the Supreme Pontiff. Atrocities on Hindu sannyasis continued even in the current days. High time Indian government takes corrective actions. Thank you very much, Vishnu Goswami Ayya, for coming and sharing. Please do share this live post virally. The Facebook post that's there, please do come forward and share this. Like the post, comment under the post, and share the post with all your friends and family. So here we are seeing so many comments left by the Kailasians. V. Rajashekaran is saying, The truth is recognized by the United Nations. The criminals are exposed, and the Swamiji's relentless fight has yielded the result. Gratitude to Swamiji. Absolutely. And we have BC Sridhar from India saying the world community now knows how Swamiji was targeted for highlighting and preaching non-violence, the essence of all forms of life in Hinduism. Absolutely, Sridharaya, so beautiful. We have Srinitya Padmarupananda who is sharing gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff for standing for Hinduism and fighting for the benefit of humanity, for all of humanity, doing things no one else can and will for Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And we have Ma Chandramala sharing so many years. So finally, the recognition of the persecution. Let's share it with the world. We have Shalini Ashokan from Malaysia saying, such a wonderful news and a big victory for all Hindus. Truth is recognized by the UN. Dharma always wins. We have Vinay Garg saying, what a wonderful news. Gratitude to Swamiji for standing up and the continuous efforts to revive Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And we have Nithyananda Paramashivam who is saying, Swamiji has been persecuted for most of his life as a leader of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Nearly every Hindu in this world has been persecuted in some way. It's time for the truth to be known. Hinduism is the greatest life science and life positive way of living. Let the truth be revealed. We have Gauri Ram Mohan saying, finally, justice is noticed by the world. When is India going to wake up? And we have Manitya Shambhuvananda saying, great news, enrich people through sharing this amazing news. Please do go ahead and share. We have Maitreyi Sola sharing, it's time the truth reached the entire world. This is indeed a wonderful news. And Manitya Katitananda saying, it is time. Thank you, United Nations, for helping to bring this truth to the world about the injustice done to Bhagavan, Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam, and to Hindus. We celebrate today. Let's make this news viral. Let's share it with everyone. And Mapiyesha saying the most awaited happening happened by His grace. And we do have so many comments that are flooding us on YouTube and Facebook. And if you're watching this, please do like, comment, and share the post on the SPH JGM page. And it's time for us to share this news with the world. And as the Supreme Pontiff had shared with all of us before, it is not just the anti-Hindu elements attacking Sanatana Hindu Dharma. It is Hindus not being active. And recently, we saw in the Adi Parashakti's Akashic reading, she said, every Hindu is born with a responsibility to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So if you are a born Hindu, a Hindu born to Hindu parents, it is time we take the responsibility and protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And it is the responsibility and the commitment that we have given to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma that has given us this beautiful Hindu lifestyle. So every Hindu, it is our responsibility to share this news virally. Like the post, comment under the post, share this post with your friends, family, near and dear ones, and do tweet with the hashtag that's been projected on the screen. Use the hashtag UN recognizes the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda and Kailasa. So please do go ahead and share this news virally and with the hashtag, and make a tweet sharing this news, and make a 1-minute video, share what you feel about this, and do comment under the live feed on YouTube. That if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, please do comment under the live feed. It is our responsibility to share this news with the world. So if you're watching this and if you have not yet shared this post, please do come and share this post virally with your friends, family, and with everyone. Now, like you can see here, the Facebook post that is being projected. I'm going to read some more comments because we are having the flooding of comments on YouTube showing there finally the fulfillment and the peace that we feel because the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been recognized. The persecution has been recognized. Kailasa has been recognized. What we have gone through has been recognized. The Tyaga of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been recognized. The efforts that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has put towards the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been recognized. And it is time we bring out what has happened to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And I invite each and every one of us who are watching this to please come on Facebook and do share your comments on Facebook under the main breaking news post so that we can share this information to the world and do share this with your friends, family, with your near and dear ones. The most important news that the United Nations recognizes the persecution of the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam and Kailasa. And use the hashtag that's projected on the screen whenever you're sharing and whenever you're tweeting. Always use this hashtag. So we have Ma Brahmajnana who's saying that this is indeed a great news. May truth prevail. We have Ma Vikas Patel offering his gratitude to Swamiji and Ma Nitya Bhakti Vasayananda who is sharing that deeply grateful to the United Nations for providing this platform in which honest news is shared to seek justice, to give a voice to the Hindus who need an honest way to be heard worldwide. Thank you. And we have Krishna Shetty who's saying, we thank the United Nations for the right decision. India should act accordingly in support of Swami Nithyananda. Thank you, Krishna Reddy Ayya. And we have many more comments. And if you're watching this live, please do go to SPH JGM page and do comment under the live post. So we have Vijaya Ramaya who's saying, victory, victory, victory to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. My warm gratitude to Bhagavan. And we have Patricia offering her gratitude. And we have Manish Shukla, who is also sharing this with all the main media channels and sharing this news. And we have Nirma Devi saying, at least even after so many years, justice has been done to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The truth can never be hidden. And we have Vishnu Goswami saying, gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for standing up for Sanatana Hindu Dharma despite the ongoing persecution. The contribution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to humanity is invaluable. Please do come on the FB page and do share and comment under the live post, the pinned post on the top. Please do share your thoughts and as comments under the live post. So we have Nishir Maski who is sharing, thank you United Nations for recognizing the genocide against Sanatana Hindu Dharma and SPH and Kailasa. Thank you very much, Nishirji, for coming online and sharing your comment. And if you're watching this, please like the post, comment under the post, and share the post with your friends on your friends' timeline, in your news feed, send it as a messenger. Use and exhaust all possible options to share this. Share it as a WhatsApp broadcast, share it as a tweet, share it on your Instagram, share it on Facebook, and share it in Messenger, share it in WeChat, all the platforms. The world needs to know what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been subject to. So let's all take a moment to go ahead and share this widely on social media.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. KAILASA is responsible to provide that to all human beings. KAILASA is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word KAAILASA, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is KAAILASA. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystems. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually, the spiritual prosperity. We happen to whole planet Earth. We all have to coexist together. We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world world should become e-Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution.